Okay, good. We got half an hour, so that's perfect.
Okay.
So,
Are you a creative person?
yes.
Why?
No, that's a good question. Well, I like to be creative. Like, I think I have to be because I don't have a lot of money, so I have to come up with ways to get things done that may be a little creative. Like, and I also like to get creative with art, and like I like to paint and do pottery and do photography, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Wonderful. I can tell you're creative.
Oh, thank you.
Are you a curious person?
I hope I'm curious. I wish I would. I want to say I am because I think I used to be when I was younger really curious about everything. I wanted to know everything, and now that I'm getting older, I'm not old, no, but I'm just getting a little older, and I'm starting to get more stuck in a rut sometimes, but I think I'm still very curious. So,
Okay. I'm I am able to love other people.
oh yeah, yeah, I I feel that way. I'm I love a lot of people.
Could you expand on that? I'm sorry.
Well, I have people that I love like in a more like romantic way, but I also have, well, there's only one person that I really love romantically, but there's other people that I have like friendship love, internet friendship love, cat pet love. Like there's all sorts of kinds of loves, you know.
Yes.
So I think I'm able to love.
Uh, can you anticipate a problem and come up with a plan to solve it?
I think I think I can. I try to be heed warnings about things, and then that makes me more cautious, and then helps me develop a plan of action on how to approach it.
Hmm. Wonderful. These are good questions.
Yeah, they're really good questions.
Hmm. I don't let other people's opinions of my actions control me.
Oh, I sometimes think I do let other people's opinions. I don't want to admit to it, but I think I do let people's actions affect me, and I'm trying to not let that happen. Like I'm trying to just compare myself to myself and what I've done in the past and how I've made strides in my successes and accomplishments in life and build from that instead of comparing myself to other people. So,
Could you expand on that a little bit? Sorry.
oh no, that's okay. Could you repeat that again?
Could you expand on that a little bit? Uh, do you let other people's opinions of your actions control me?
I
Or
tr-
control?
oh yeah. I try not to let other people's opinions control me because I know everybody has their own perspective on life, and if what somebody thinks might about my life might not be applicable to my life, even though if they might have good intentions in giving me feedback, it still might not be the right thing for me to do. So I have to really try to think about what's actually right for me.
Wonderful.
Thank
You're a
you.
great interviewee.
Oh, you're a great interviewer.
Well, thank you. I have. You have. Do you have good common sense in most situations? Another person.
Oh, oh,
This is kind of like a questionnaire too, so I'm using more of an expanded strength.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think I have pretty good common sense. I don't think I have the greatest common sense, but I think on like the spectrum, I'm probably falling within normal range, normal range. But I still think sometimes I can be a little lofty and get a little carried away with like, well, I sometimes like to have grandiose ideas and I think that's fun, but I try to keep myself realistic and grounded too, you know.
Um, a follow-up question, I'm sorry. Is that the grandiose, is that part of your illness or?
It might be like I think it's okay to be a little grandiose, but I don't know if that's just me and my mental illness or if that's just me being really tolerant of different ideas. I don't know. I I do sometimes like with my mental illness, I do sometimes get a little grandiose, but I don't think I'm that sick right now. Like I'm doing okay right now, so
I wasn't implying that you were sick or anything.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm sorry if I made it sound like you were sick or something. I mean, I was just wondering if that was just tied in with the illness, with the
Yeah.
illness, because as long as it doesn't bother you, I'm not trying to feed you words, but just, I heard a wise person say when I worked at a group home, um, as long as it doesn't bother you, then it's okay to.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. If it starts bothering you, then I'm not trying to be a problem solver, believe me.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Thank you for
Mm,
clarifying that.
I'm sorry. Um, I have. Oh, did I already repeat this? My goals for myself are realistic.
I think I sometimes have unrealistic goals, but I think it's okay to push myself a little bit harder than because I don't want to be too mundane and boring, you know. Like, like I think it's good to have dreams, and even if they are a little bit unrealistic, it still gives me like a push to and motivation and passion to live for something, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do you have an accurate view of your strengths and weaknesses?
I think I sometimes have a distorted view because I sometimes don't give myself enough credit. So I think I probably am stronger than I think and more realistic than I let on, but I think I don't give myself enough credit sometimes.
How so, Matt?
Oh, well, I tend to discredit my opinions sometimes because I don't know, maybe it's because I'm female or because I'm shy or I have low self-esteem, but I think if I gave myself more credit, I think I would be more confident and it would be good for me, you know. But I work on that.
Okay. Um, what about other people's behavior is usually predictable to you? I'm sorry, it seemed confusing.
Oh no, that's a good question. I I think other people's behavior seems predictable to me. Like overall, I think that is true.
Um, this may sound like a common sense one. It usually. Um, do you usually predict when situations are safe or dangerous?
Oh yeah, I think I have a good gut feeling in my gut on when to get out of dangerous situations. Like I try not to be too nice and like if I hear like if I get a gut feeling that something's dangerous, I'll get out of there.
Okay. What about safe?
And I think I know when I'm in a safe situation and then when I'm not using my gut feeling.
Okay. Are you self aware and like to learn about yourself?
I think I'm very self-aware, and I really like to learn more about myself, and I try to be insightful, and just I love learning more about what's going on with me, and like my personality and my strengths and weaknesses, and so.
Could you expand on that a little bit? I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. Well, like I try to look at myself like from a third person perspective sometimes, like so I'm not biased towards myself. Like I try not to give myself too much slack, cuz or I try not to see things how I want to see things. I try to look at like things from other people's perspectives. So I look at me from a different point of view. So I and that's good, but I think it's good to, be in your own head and everything, but I don't want to be too stuck in my head. I want to reach out to other people and hear what they got to say too.
That makes sense. Do you think about your mistakes and learn from them?
Yeah, I really am hard on myself when I make a mistake, but I'm trying to not be too hard because everybody makes mistakes and it's part of the learning process. So,
We couldn't be perfect like God.
yeah, nobody's perfect. Like everybody's learning and making mistakes. So,
Mhm. If something is bothering you, can you channel your energies into something constructive?
yeah, like it goes with the coronavirus. Like, it kind of bothers me a lot, but I'm trying to just stay calm and do what I can do. Like, if I start worrying too much about it, like, I think I isolate myself from people too much, and that's not good. So, I think it's good to reach out to people, even if you are worried that they might have the coronavirus. You can still take necessary precautions, and it's still like a time to be kind and cooperative versus isolating and scared and paranoid. So
Yes, I hear you there. Um, uh, does your sense of humor help you deal with stressful situations?
yeah, I think my sense of humor gets me through a lot. I sometimes laugh at everything, and that's not necessarily good, but because it's good to have like selective humor and laugh at something that's really funny versus something that's just outrageous or makes me nervous. Because sometimes I laugh when I'm nervous, but I think it does help me get through the situation. Like I think it helps me cope and helps me like gather my thoughts. Like if I laugh, I can think about it a little more and maybe postpone making a decision on what I can do, and then it gives me time to walk away or to think about, like, postpone what the other person might be thinking, and like it's laughter usually is taken well, so people usually are drawn to people who have a good sense of humor. So
Okay. If you can take a control of a certain situation, can you turn it over and stop worrying about it? I know it's a tough one.
yeah, that's a difficult one. Yeah, I think like if I can do something about a situation, it helps me feel like I have a sense of power, and then I don't have to worry about it because it gets it out of my head and I got out into the world where I can do something about it.
Can you expand on that a little bit? I'm sorry.
Oh no, like for example, like if I'm worried about the coronavirus or something, like that's on my mind today, so I'll just talk about that. But like I think if I feel like I have a sense of power in like how I respond to it, like I can wash my hands more with soap and water and sneeze or cough into a tissue or do certain actions like clean my apartment, do clean surfaces before I use them, like at the gym. And like if I feel like I have a sense of power over it, then I feel less powerless or hopeless.
Um, this is kind of like off topic. Um, I think I asked you a similar question last week, but what other resources do you use besides um, what group? Do you go to any groups or or what other resources do you find helpful with your um, illness? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh no, I think going to this voices group that I run, even though it's canceled right now because of the virus, but I think going to support groups like mental health support groups really gives me a strength, like to look at myself as a real person, not just like a client or a consumer, but look at myself as a whole person and what can I do and what gives me strength. And I think like looking deep inside myself, I can find strength too, because I think everybody has the power to heal themselves from inside them, you know? So,
What about uh, the jobs? Because um, I know you go to, you have wide variety of interests in
yeah.
jobs. Does that bring you strength? Or,
Yeah, I definitely get strength from my coworkers because my coworkers are really admirable people and they're very smart and they're they're cooperative and they're positive and they just have lots of ideas on how to cope with things. And so like I think I get a lot of strength from my coworkers. So yeah.
what about here?
Yeah, Yahara House offers a lot of strength too because you can learn about daily living skills and cultural events. So it makes you more aware of different people's cultures and people's communities and what's going on in the world. And so there's a lot of strength at Yahara House too.
Wonderful. I'm sorry, I don't. If you need a break too, if you need some water, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe we should take a break because my phone is going to die soon.